So it's Doom Week, and we've been doing a lot of videos with Doom. I did the why I thought 2005's Doom is actually awesome. Unfortunately, you weren't here for me with that, but you were here in spirit. And then we did the unboxing video, and hopefully we had a successful live stream of Doom The Dark Ages. We are recording this before the unboxing and the live stream of Doom The Dark Ages, but this will come out after those, most likely. And so, yeah, we're in the move Doom, and it's like, hey, Lourdes, you want to watch Doom Annihilation with me? Your response was, sure. So, Lourdes, what did you think of Doom Annihilation? Did you like it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We have a situation.
So, back in 2019, just, like, going online, looking at movie news, this just randomly dropped that, like, oh yeah, there's a new Doom movie being made, and it's coming out straight to DVD in a month. And it's just like, wait, what? And so, I remember I watched it back in 2019, and I didn't like it at the time. But, you know, Doom The Dark Ages is coming out. I just got done watching the first Doom movie with you, and it's like,
I didn't even know those kind of movies even exist. Like, even the first one, and then that one, like, no.
Although you did enjoy the first one.
Yes, I did. Well, my introduction was with the game, of course. And then I saw, like, the first one with The Walk. And we just saw that today.
Yeah, Doom Annihilation.
Yeah.
So, you said you liked it. I didn't like it.
Well, I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
Okay, but I think I like the first one better. The one with the walk, because I don't know, because it was like the second one, it's kind of unpredictable, except the end. We will talk about there. But I think I enjoyed like the first one better, because the excitement I have, it was more realistic than the second one. The second one was like too fast, and then the first one's like, okay, like,
you liked the slow burn of the first one.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I thought it'd be good to talk about what we liked about Annihilation first, because I had a lot more cons of Annihilation, so I like to save the bigger portion towards the end. But, like, I will state that I did enjoy the beginning. I liked the beginning of this movie, how it was just like, there was some music, but there wasn't a lot of music, and it was just like showing you like almost an average day of UAC. They're getting ready to do this experiment, and like it cut to black showing the title sequence and then it come back, show you a little bit more of like the UAC getting ready to do this experiment. Everything's going smoothly. They think they had success, and then like all hell breaks loose. And I really enjoyed the beginning. What do you think of the beginning?
I think it was a good beginning, and then the way they show you like, okay, so you just go through the portal, and then and then the guy was exciting because he was going, he was chosen, he was going to the portal, and then they just show you like, okay, he crossed the portal, like, oh my god, okay, and after that just like boom, okay, so that's not what we're expecting. But it was kind of like, it was a good one. It was a good introduction.
And then, like, another thing I really liked was the setup. And I would say I preferred the setup to this more than the 2005 Doom. Because the setup kind of felt more in line with the games. And I would say that the guy who made this movie, he definitely had more of a desire to capture the games than the 2005 film. 2005 film, you could kind of feel like there was a sort of mindset that we've heard of the games and we'll throw a couple of references, but we're just going to do our own movie. And with this movie, I definitely got the feeling like the guy who directed this, I don't know his name off the top of my head, I got the feeling like he played the games, he really liked the games, and he really wanted to do a Doom movie. It's just a shame that he didn't have the budget for a Doom movie. I'll get on that later. But like the setup in the first one is they get a call. It's like, okay, there's something going on Mars. We gotta go check it out. It seems like it might be something serious. And with this one, they were just a normal like transfer of new security soldiers being sent to Mars, and when they arrive there, no one's answering the door. It's like, what's going on? We're just supposed to... We're the new security guards. And then they get to the base, and it's like, what's going on? We have no idea. And so I really like that better, because it kind of captures the feel of, like, the first level of Doom. The very first one that, like, I started you on, where it's just like, you have no idea what's coming, you just have the music going, and, you know, you just start on the adventure. So I really like that setup a lot better. What about you?
Well, I think the first one, because they had a portal too, like, you know, and then to, like, teleport, like, people. But it's just like they went through the portal and then they're fine. But in this one, they actually, like, you know, let you know what exactly is happening between the portal. You know, it just, you know, like, you just cross it and then here you go, you're over Mars, you know. And then I think it's good because technically, I always think, like, people decide to do, like, movies with like, teleportation in between wherever, like, the world you go in, or whatever, like, the, you know, the space of time you want to go. In between, there's always something.
Yeah.
Something always, like, will change you until you get to the point that you want to go. But in the first one, they just, like, you know, teleport themselves, and then they went to, like, to where they have to go to save the, you know, the doctors and then secure and everything. But I think the second one really go with the game that you introduced me to. And even though it was quick, but it's kind of like the game. You open the portal and then you see, like, you know, the monster that you have to kill them and stuff. It was, yeah, as you said, it was kind of between, like, the game as well. So.
Another thing I will give the credit for the movie Annihilation, while it's not there financially, I felt they really tried to capture a realistic, like, Martian set with the sets in the second one. In the first one, I complained in my video, some of the locations in the first one, it didn't feel like they were on an alien planet.
Yeah.
And with this one, some of the sets really did suck. Okay? But, like, the reactor room, I thought was just, okay, you guys were running out of money at this point. But, like, some of the hallways, it's like, okay, I buy that this is, like, on Phobos, I can buy that. So I felt they made an effort. They didn't always succeed with the sets in the second one. Whereas the first one, it's like, hey, we're just going to use some, like, concrete grade, like, military structures and say this is on Mars. And they looked great. Don't get me wrong. The sets looked great in the first one. But it didn't capture the right vibe. And this one, the sets didn't look great, but it was trying to capture the right vibe. And so it's like, so many times I want to just combine the first and second one, and you'd have, like, a perfect Doom movie, you know. The other thing I actually liked was the actor who played Dr. Petruger. Like, he kind of was killing it in almost every scene. Granted, he didn't have a lot to overcome in terms of outshining everyone else. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But, like, just in terms of, like, the actors of the movie, it's like, Yeah, I have no issues with this actor. He was outshining everyone else. He did a really solid job. Funny enough, though, in the third game, Malcolm Bertruger looks more like Anthony Hopkins with a bad eye than he does, that actor who I kept wanting to think he was like one of the, what actor is it? He's really popular. He might play the Doctor Who, but he kind of looked like that one actor. I'm completely screwing up, referencing who I'm confusing him with. But yeah, I liked his performance. I thought he was the standout. And then the last thing I liked about the movie was the ending.
No.
Well, okay. When I say ending, I don't mean the last 5 seconds.
Oh.
I mean the last, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I like the ending because it's like, okay, the CGI's rough, but I like the creature designs.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I wish there was more of this in the movie, and aspects of the last 5 seconds I kind of like. Obviously, they were going for hey, if this is a hit, we can go right into Doom 2 like they did with the video games, because with the video games, the second Doom takes place on Earth. And so I totally could see how that director, the guy who made this movie, he really wanted to just have a straight, okay, we're going right into Doom 2. Doom 2 has also been subtitled Doom 2 Hell on Earth.
Okay.
And so the first one's all on Mars, second one is on Earth and Mars. And so I saw where he was trying to go with that, but you had some very, very opinionated feelings towards the ending. Please elaborate.
Okay.
Okay,
let's talk about the fact. I love the fact of the 5 minutes, as I say, when she crossed the portal, and then at first when she get out of the hole, and then it make you feel okay, this water, maybe it's the ocean, or some part around Earth, you get out, and then it's okay, and then no, she was in between. And then it's okay. And then the way she crossed it was awesome. The CGI, everything was awesome. But I was expecting when she killed the main, the leader, has every movie they were gonna vanish or something.
Well, I would say that it's getting really old when that happens. So it was kind of nice seeing a movie where the leader gets killed and the minions are still there, because that's just such a cop-out. It's the main bad guy dies, and then the army of the undead just all falls over because we need to end the movie. And so thankfully that didn't happen here. And I
was okay, so she crossed. Okay, she was on Earth, and then she
spoilers by the way.
Yes. Okay, I was waiting at least for them to to let me see one of the creatures get out the portal, and then they just give me the credential.
You just heard the screams and then credits.
What?
you got really frustrated with the ending.
Yes. I was okay. I thought after the credential, as some movies they were gonna give me at least an inch of what to expect if they decide to do a sequel. No, they went straight to credential, and then it's over. What the? Sorry, I cannot curse. That's what I wish.
Oh, you can curse at this point.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you just can't curse in the first minute of the video. We're well over a minute.
I was what the hell? Okay, and then you just let me hang. I would understand if there was sequel a year after, but
this did not do that well.
Still nothing. And then I was so what exactly you want me to do? Go play the game? No, because you decide to do a movie, and then just not for me to go and play the game and then to enjoy it, and then you just give me that fucking hand? No, it's okay. And I look at him and I say, really? And then he kept laughing. He just laughed okay. No.
That leads me to the portions of the movie I did not like. My biggest criticism of this movie, and it's a criticism I have of the first one, I did not feel the first one had enough money. And this had a fourth of the budget the first one had. Oh, thank you. And this did not have enough money. This needed like 4 times the budget that this film had because so much of this movie felt cheap. And like earlier with the sets, I said that I thought the sets made a good effort trying to feel like it was an alien base, but they didn't have the money to make it actually feel like it. First movie had the money, but they didn't really put the effort in making the sets feel like you're on Mars. And so, okay, technically, this movie was never on Mars, it's on Phobos. Which was a good hat tip because in the game, you go to Phobos. So it's not entirely on Mars. You do go to the moons of Mars. And so, definitely if you're a diehard fan of the game, you're going to enjoy it a lot. No. You're going to enjoy some of the hat tips to the game, because there was some really on-the-nose, horrifically delivered hat tips. Like, there's a scene where a guy just, like, as he's, like, fighting for his life, he just stops and goes, "Boo! I'm your Ultra Nightmare!" And it's just like... Some of the dialogue in this movie is so awful. It is so awful. And like the only call back to one of the levels was where a guy was like running away. He's like, "I'm too young to die," and he runs away. It's like, okay, that line kind of stuck the landing, but there's just some like callbacks to the game. It's just like, my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good callbacks, like the key cards, the double-barreled shotgun. I mean, you know, they do have some really good even like the health machine on the wall was a callback to Doom 3. So, like, this guy making this movie, he definitely was doing a homage to all of the games.
Well, I don't know why they leave, like, you know, I figured out in each level, at least before they realized there was a 4th one, where, like, all the dead body were. And then at least, you know, give me, I don't know, like, 1 or 2 dead bodies, like, in level 2 or level 3, like, you know,
like,
at least, but don't give me everything in the 4th one, like...
It felt like when they get to level 4... that should have been how the entire base looked like.
Yeah.
But the base felt way too clean.
Too clean.
Even when they came across like a dead body, way too clean. And then level 4, it's like, okay, this is how Doom was supposed to start.
Yeah.
And I like I said, they needed a lot more money.
Well, I knew the doctor was like fishy.
Oh, obviously like, the doctor's like, always fishy.
And then the way he was like talking, not remember, like, dude, like, we saw you crossing the portal, like. And then you say, "Oh, really? Okay." And then, you know, even the guy being the scientific, the, you know,
scientist,
the ex,
Doctor, the ex-boyfriend,
the ex-boyfriend. I knew he was, you know, hiding something, because when the main character like asks him, like, you know, "Have you been there?" And they're like, "No," but the way like he answered and then like he didn't do like eye contact or anything, it's like something fishy.
And it turned out he knew that they had found alien remains.
Exactly.
Which isn't the most horrible secret to keep.
I know.
I mean, I can kind of understand why that character would have done that.
Okay, but I was like, okay, but the doctor, the moment like, I was like,
yeah, usually the doctor is always evil.
Yeah, I was like, and then the thing is like, you pass your like, I don't know, like 4 decades, like trying to, I don't know, like finally, you know,
get the tech to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then some people just came along and then want to destroy, like, but dude, you crossed the portal, so something happened between, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, And then when he said like, "I don't remember anything," I said, "Oh, okay."
It's possible getting torn down into a million atoms and then reassembled could cause some memory loss, so I wasn't that fishy about that.
I was. because
you were very fishy about that.
Because
I was able to buy that.
there's a way someone say like I forgot something, I don't remember, and then you just really but the way he said it, and then you see like through his eyes
it was obvious he was full of it,
But the girl was so was happy to see like his doctor, like his boss. Okay, fine. It was so naive, but I was like, But yeah, and then the moment like he started like talking about the files, I figured out so he was trying to to take times, and then for them to like
try to go to
exactly like to lose focus and stuff, and then so you can do like he thinks like.
So the other thing I did not like about this movie, and the director, who seemed to be a huge fan of Doom, should have done a better job on this. The music sucked. And, Doom is iconic for its music. You look at the first level of Doom, the amazing guitar riff. You look at the Mick Gordon soundtracks of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. You look at my personal favorite of Final Doom with Evolution. Some of the musical tracks from that one are amazing. And the musical score in this movie was so forgettable. Nothing stood out. At least with the 2005 Doom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
There was a couple of scores by Clint Mansell, who's an amazing composer. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's not entirely Doom, but yeah, this sticks out, especially during the first-person shooter sequence. There unfortunately is no first-person shooter sequence in this one. But, another issue I had was the guns looked really, really cheap.
Yeah. Like,
the only gun that didn't look cheap was the double-barrel shotgun. The Marines, made weapons, it was just AK-47s and M16s with these, plastic molds over them. It was very cheap looking. And then when they got to, the in-game weapon of, the BFG, it looked like she was holding a paper toy. Yeah. That's how light she was moving around. It's like, could you not have thrown a couple of pounds of weight in that gun just so it had some heft?
Yeah, because I think the first one, they have kind of a gun like that.
They have the BFG in the first one.
Yeah, it looked heavier than that one, because the work was holding making effort, but she was just like, okay.
Yeah, no, the BFG in the first movie, it looked like a legitimate weapon. They put a lot of work into it. It had heft to it. It didn't quite operate in the game, but in this one, it looked like it wasn't even painted. It looked like they got it out of the plastic mold. Yeah. It's like, okay, let's film, and it's just
Well, I don't mind in some movies those kind of guns, they kind of looks like that, kind of gray and stuff. But this really looks like I don't know, a toy, nothing even the armor, you just
Oh, the armor?
Yeah.
I did not like the armor in this.
Why is the point of it, and how, at the end, when she was trying to cross the portal to get to Earth, but she didn't know she was going to Earth, when she threw the two armors, I was like, okay, so how exactly, it's not supposed to be in the gun and then just to, to shoot out and then clean everything. So how exactly?
Well, those were mines that she threw out.
That was the one that also she put in the gun.
There was a gel pack, and then there was mines separate from that. But
still,
yeah, and even the first movie, the rifles, they did have real G36s with dressing on them to make them look a little bit more futuristic. But it worked because they actually it looked like an actual variation on the G36 you might see in a few years. The dressing they put on the M16s and the AK-47s felt very fake and plasticky, and the armor sucked. I mean, I won't say the armor in the first movie that the soldiers were wearing were particularly amazing either. They were very similar, but just the helmets, they looked so cheap and fake.
And I think I don't know, I know I'm gonna do different between the first one and the second one. The first one, they took time to kill them. You know, like to kill like the army, like the people that came with the war and stuff. But in the second one, they're just like, oh, okay, they poke and like, I was like, okay, that's. I know it's part of the game because when you open the doors, I know it's part of the game. But still, at least they could have given me, I don't know, like, at least let them clear the first floor and then go to the second floor. At least you can start like killing them. But start killing them like the moment they turn like to the server room and then like, okay, like.
Well, that's something the movies kind of both failed at, was they give you a team of soldiers trying to survive against the hordes of hell, or in the first movie's instance, genetically modified lab experiments, But, like, in the games, in every single game, the main focal point is a lone Marine against the armies of hell. And none of the movies have done that. It's like, you need to have, like, Rambo against the forces of hell, not a elite military unit and they're getting picked off one by one until you have one lone survivor.
The funny thing about those kind of movies is like, okay, I'm part of like special missions and then special corps and stuff, fine, but why they never know exactly where they why they're going? Like there's always some like, okay, so we have this and this, but they never have the full like clearance to know exactly what the hell.
They want to have a mystery for the audience.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, and then that make you like me like killing me like faster than everything. Like, okay, so I didn't know that, and then and I also figured out. This kind of like the first one, of course, that was a man, but it's always let's go back to aliens, all the alien stuff. It's always like a woman that's at the end, and then those kind of like movie like zombie special things, which you make me watch. I don't really like it, but and then it's like, okay, and it's like. It's interesting, but at the end, they have to change the. Of course, like women, we have like survival skills, fine. But at least like in some kind of movie, they can give me like a one man. I don't know, like they left like it's the only one that.
You feel
alive.
There's too many female survivors in alien
in this
films.
kind of movies.
Okay, That's a good segue into my last part I didn't like, and that was Doom Gal, or Joanne Dark.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how they were able to get away with that name, because that's the name of the character from Perfect Dark. I guess it's Joanne in this, and it's Joanna in the game Perfect Dark. But when that was announced that she was going to be a main character, there was like some people like, what are you doing? It's Doom Guy, not Doom Gal. And of course, the actress had to open her mouth and go, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And it's like, anytime an actor does that, I automatically want to boycott him. It is because it's like, you're so full of yourself. I am not against the idea of Doom Gal. I know you could also say Doom Girl or Doom Lady, but I prefer Doom Gal. It just flows off better, like Doom Guy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if they're done right, Doom Gal would have been awesome. The problem is they did not do it right, because they decided to give me her whole fucking life story in this movie. And it's like, oh, well, she was betrayed here, and she lost her mother here, and she used to date this guy that's on the ship with them. And it's like, stop. You want to do Doom Gal, this is how you do it. Make her a silent protagonist and have the story explained through other characters. Have her the strong silent type and just have her show up, kick ass, take names, and ride off in the sunset. Maybe at the end saying one line of dialogue in a smirky remark. I do not need to know. Even with the first movie, with Carl Urban and The Rock, I didn't need the backstory to them. I would have much rather preferred that, like, Carl Urban, who was the Doom guy in the first one, I would have preferred if he was a silent protagonist, because every game not one game does any of the protagonists speak.
Yeah.
I think the Doomslayer in like Doom Eternal says one line of dialogue at the end of the DLC. But that's it. Like, strong, silent type, that's what the Doomslayer / Doom guy is supposed to be. And if you want to have Doom Gal, fine. But make her the strong, silent type. Don't have her having, like, beef with other team members in the military party.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Doom Gal?
It was too cliche.
I totally got the cliches with, you know, her fighting the other members of the team and the romantic interest.
I don't know why there's always like an X in a shape. Or like,
there's always an X.
Why the X always tag along? Like, why do you, like, even though like on the men's side or the girl's side, why the X has to tag along? Like, always I can't go on the mission like without you, but like I can't go to the mission without you. Like, I know, being like working at the same office I am and in the same field as I am, like, you know, fine, but no, the ex always around. Like, even the ex-girlfriend, why they have to change that cliche? Because it's always there, and then it's always like me feel like, okay, the ex always hiding something.
Yeah, there's always hiding something. Okay. You're absolutely right with that.
The ex always hiding something. The ex like always know more about the mission. Like, always know more about the mission than I has.
Usually.
Exactly.
Yeah, this movie was very predictable.
It's like, how the fuck do you know more about the mission than I do? Like, I am doing, like, you know? It's like, oh, okay.
The only thing this movie didn't do was have the person bit by one of the zombies and then hide it.
Yeah.
Like that old cliche. Like, that's the only cliche they didn't do in this movie.
Well, I was expecting, like, the girl, like, the first one, that was, like, you know, that was, like, being bite by one of the zombies.
Was there, like, 4 girls in the unit? So many people died really quick.
The first one that died, like, at the server, like, you know, when they found the first guy that was, like, no, and then...
Did they get to the server room?
Well,
I don't think they ever got to the server room.
The nuclear thing, they were, you know.
They got to the power plant.
Yeah, that part. And then she was bite by one. I was like, okay. And then...
But then she died right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that was like, okay. Like, okay, fine.
But going back to the point you made about there's always a love interest, that was one of the things I pointed out with the first one. Was I thought they were setting up a love interest. It turned out it was just his sister. And it's like, oh, no shit. And so it was a little refreshing that it wasn't an old flame, but it was actually a family member.
Yeah.
Still, even though that was good, way too much backstory on Doom Guy. Yeah. Doom Guy or Gal needs to be a silent protagonist with a mysterious past.
Yeah, nobody...
Or Doomslayer.
Or nobody has to know, but apparently, like, everybody knows the backstory, everybody knows the story, and then it's always, like, backlashes to that protagonist, like... And then always, like, get the hate first, and after that, understanding, and after that, get killed, and be alone, like... Those steps, it's so cliche, like, in every movie, they are like, okay. But that movie was kind of, like, predictable.
Yeah.
But the end was unpredictable and it was frustrating. But what can we do? They still don't want to do the sequel for me to watch it.
Yeah. So ultimately, I did not like this. I thought it was very mediocre. There was some hints and, like, sprinklings of, like, there's a good movie here, but it needs a bigger budget. It needs radical dialogue script changes, and it could have worked, but it needed to, like, remove 90% of Doom Gal's backstory, make her silent protagonist, and, like, have the lead actress shut the hell up before the movie comes out, because it's not just actresses, it's actors. Like, anytime an actor goes, well, if you don't like it, then don't watch my movie. It's just like, okay, I was excited for it, but I'm not going to watch your movie now, because I hate it when people think, like, they're holier than thou in Hollywood. Yeah. And so anyway, I thought it was mediocre. I would love to see a good Doom movie done right. Closest we're getting is probably 2005's Doom for the foreseeable future. Maybe one day they'll do a Doomslayer Doom movie. But what were your like final thoughts on it? Did you think it was mediocre, or did you think it was okay?
They could have done much more to the movie. I think,
yes.
It's like kind of mediocre, like, I don't know.
Okay. But so yeah, that was our review of Doom Annihilation. Which, why choose that subtitle? I mean, Doom Phobos would have been a better subtitle than Annihilation.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think anyone said Annihilation at any point in the movie. It just felt unnecessary.
Yeah. They always say like Doom, like, okay.
I mean, the video games, like in 2016, they just called it Doom, and everyone calls it the 2016 Doom. So they could have just called this Doom and called it the 2019 Doom film, and it would have worked. But yeah, that was our review of Doom Annihilation. What did you guys think? Please say off in the comments down below. My name's Christopher Connor, and this is the ever fabulous Lourdes.
Hi.
This has been 11th Hour Reviews, and that will be all for
See
today.
you guys.